We had a question in one of our recent webinars that I thought was a really good question. So I wanted to share the answer to that in a separate video so that the entire community can benefit from it. The question was, what type of things a new trader needs or any trader needs to become as good as the professionals? So I wanted to thank you for this question firstly, and jumping right into it, even though I think there is a combination or multiple factors that you need, I do think there are three things that really stand out for me as being the most important to your success as a trader. And the very first one is often not something that most new traders or retail traders wants to hear. And that is, of course, time. You need time to become as good as a professional. And that isn't just for trading. That is really true for any other profession out there, whether it's a doctor or a lawyer or a pharmacist or a builder or a plumber or an accountant. If you are any one of these things, you will know that it takes time to become good at what you do. You don't just walk into a new job and in 3 months you are operating at the same level of skill or excellence or expertise than the professionals that's been doing it for a very long time. You need time to develop those skills. So the first thing that you'll need, in my opinion, is time. That's the most important thing, the most important one to keep in mind. And the one thing that you don't want to do is try to rush your development as a trader, and miss out on some valuable and important lessons along the way, just because you're trying to, do it as fast as you can. There is obviously nothing wrong with having some ambition and setting some targets for yourself, but majority of the retail trading community, they've been lied to. They've been lied to by so-called gurus who have sold them on this idea that you can make endless amounts of money in no time at all. All you have to do is take a quick 2-day course or, a quick 3-week course or whatever, and then you have all you need to trade like a pro. Now, that just isn't true. It takes time to develop the right type of skills in any professions. And that doesn't mean that, it gives you an excuse, of course, to be lazy in your development. Don't get me wrong. I have gone through the process of becoming an analyst probably a lot quicker than would usually be the case. And that's because I sacrificed plenty of very long nights and weekends and holidays and really applied all my available time to learning as much as I could, as fast as I could. There were times when, I would make, have a regular work day of 10 to 12 hours, sit down afterwards, after getting home, sitting down for another couple of hours, sitting until 2 and 3 in the morning, going through research papers and analysis, go to sleep with only 3 or 4 hours work, get up, do it all over again for weeks on end. So it's certainly possible to cut your learning curve by having access to the right information like we have in the terminal at the right time. And of course, by putting that additional time to work. But even then, it will take time. It's not going to be an overnight or a week or a month journey. The second thing you'll need is adequate knowledge, on both the fundamental and the technical side. I'd say the split is arguably going to be 80% favored towards the fundamentals, as the technicals are often very simple to grasp and apply. If you really want to trade better, you'll need to put in the effort to sharpen up your knowledge. As a reference guide, we've been building out a full video library in the terminal. For those of you that don't know, if you go to the video library section and open up the Q&A, we have just shy of 400 videos in this video library right now, and it touches on many different topics. There's really so much in here. It's not only fundamentals, it's also a lot of technicals as well, but I'll say about 80 or 90% of it is mostly fundamentals based and sentiment based. You'll get a lot of information in there, and you'll really want to spend a lot of time with information sources like this. I think it's a great starting point for you to do. Even this, the other thing that you can do apart from just going through the video library is using recent events to sharpen your knowledge of certain things. So if you are sitting there with the terminal open, and suddenly something hits the wire, somebody tweets something or the squawk says something, and immediately you see a reaction in the market, you see equity markets move and you see commodity markets move and you're not sure why, use those recent events to ask us questions. If you have access to the analyst chat, pop us a question in there, or ask a question underneath any one of the videos. If there's something that happens and you're not sure why, ask why that happened. That's a great way to learn in the present, instead of learning everything after the fact, while something is happening and you're not sure why it's happening, just ask us a question. We are here to help. If if it's something that you only think about a day afterwards, ask it in the webinars. However you want, we're here to help you to grasp those things. And it's really great to be able to learn these things in an ongoing environment, in an ongoing development. So your learning and this ongoing development is something that will be able to set you apart from the vast majority of retail traders out there that just doesn't care about the inner workings of the market. Knowing why things like cross asset class correlations are important, knowing why rising inflation expectations are important, or why real yields are important, or why interest rate differentials are important, why unconventional monetary policy is important, why decelerating or accelerating growth and inflation is so important. And apart from that, how to use all of these things in your trading, that's even more important. And for that, you will obviously, we do a lot in our videos and our reporting and our webinars to help with that. And make a habit of being curious and learning as much as you can, just like you would with any other profession. Now, the third thing you need is the right attitude. And I know this sounds like such a cliche thing. To be fair, it is a word that has been used way too many times as an umbrella for many different things. But with attitude, I'm talking about having the mental fortitude to identify psychological issues that you're struggling with as a trader, and having the motivation to sort out those issues. You see, if after you've gotten the basics under your belt about the fundamentals and the technicals, trading really does become a psychological journey. Being able to progress comes down to your willingness to sort yourself out, being disciplined enough to trade when you should and to stop when you shouldn't, to be mindful of your own flaws. There are so many traders out there that blames the markets for everything that happens. They blame the markets for their losses. They blame the markets for, the bad decisions that they make. The market, the market doesn't care. Right? They will often say things like the market did this or the market did that, but at the end of the day, you are your own worst enemy when it comes to trading. The mistakes you make isn't the market that made those mistakes for you. It's probably something that you just missed. And sometimes, yes, you will have everything right in terms of checking all the boxes, and you might still lose a trade, and that's totally okay. That's dealing with the uncertainty factor in the market that's always going to be there. That we'll learn to deal with. So it's not the market that is out there to get you. The market couldn't care less. It comes down to how you manage yourself, how you manage your emotions at the end of the day. So I would say those three things: time, knowledge, and really the right attitude. I would place that at the top end of the list, the highest in terms of the list of things you need to be able to trade like the pros. So hope that helps. And as usual, if there's any other questions, please don't hesitate to let us know.